Joining us now to review some of the headlines of today's newspapers from around the world is Arise News analyst Emefiele. Good morning, Great Malabite.
Good morning, Ruben. Good morning, Rufai. Good morning, Ayo.
Good morning.
Yes, we start the review with this day, Nigeria's newspaper of record. The lead story, Naira Scarcity, Buhari, Bagudu, Tambuwal, Emefiele, Bawa meet. Seek solutions. Yes, President cancels meeting with NGF over Supreme Court action. CBN has no plan to thwart polls with Naira shortage, says Apex Bank governor. Federal government blames opposition for politicizing policy. CBN has disbursed over 1 billion naira to banks in Edo in 3 days. State government reveals Ganduje alleges plot to disrupt democracy. TUC gives federal government 7 days ultimatum to address currency fuel shortages. Yes, all hands seem to be on deck, but we don't seem to be making progress yet. Because what you see on the streets at front of the banks is still frustration of bank customers who want to access their funds kept with the banks. Now, why is it so difficult to get this Naira, the new design Naira, properly circulated? Is what all the stakeholders are putting heads together. Of course, the president calling off that meeting scheduled with governors, with some states approaching the Supreme Court to force the government to extend the use of the old currency almost indefinitely, if you will. But other newspapers are also reporting the story. The Guardian newspaper, Buhari cancels meeting with governors as TUC issues ultimatum. Well, the Sun newspaper, Daily Sun newspaper, angry bank customers destroy ATMs, vehicles, barricade highways as banks shut down operations in Lagos. Buhari meets leadership of Governors Forum in Emefiele. Nigerians reaching breaking point. NLC is warning. Now, below the photograph there, CBN won't be used to scuttle election. Emefiele assures INEC of funds to pay service providers. Yes, the INEC chairman had to do this round yesterday. First, he visited the central bank governor to also express his concern about the situation with the new design Naira. Because on election day, there are some people who are cash and carry contractors, transporters, a lot of them who have been engaged by INEC to do some work on that day. They will need their payment. And we don't want a situation where transporters will hold INEC to ransom to say, if you don't pay, I don't move with your materials, because that in itself will amount to scuttling the election. But Emefiele, the governor of Central Bank, has assured that at any time, money will be available, cash will be available to INEC if they need to pay by cash. Now, the Punch newspaper, Naira crisis may disrupt poll, INEC wants Emefiele NSA. Of course, INEC chairman also visited the National Security Advisor, where he also got assurances that, of course, there will be security for Nigerians to troop out on February 25 and March 11 to choose the next set of leaders for the country. Now, the Nation newspaper, Naira Scarcity sparks protest. But just above that story, Tinubu calls for calm over cash crunch, petrol scarcity, Rufai, Abiodun, let's embrace peace. Yes, Nigerians love peace, but Nigerians are also people, of course, the ordinary citizens, when they cannot have money to do simple things, to feed their family. Of course, that will be stretching their endurance to the limit. Now, the Daily Independent newspaper, Atiku camp kicks as APC wants election shifted by 4 weeks. Well, we've seen elections postponed in the past, but this time, of course, according to this story, the APC asking for that shift, but the PDP is having none of that. But if we look at the Daily Trust newspaper, National Crisis, Buhari convenes Emergency Council of State meeting for Friday. Come up with pragmatic solutions. Emefiele urges leaders. We need cash to conduct elections. INEC President meets Tambuwal, Bagudu, CBN Governor, others at Aso Rock. Now, the Council of States, that meeting, we recall in the past when such meetings were held ahead of general election, advice was taken from that meeting by the leader of the country. And I hope this emergency Council of State meeting is not going to recommend a postponement of the election, because we still have time to ensure that these hiccups that are staring us in the face, scarcity of the Naira, the new design Naira, scarcity of petroleum products, can be addressed before that day. Yes. Now, if we look at the Business Day newspaper, yes, Business Day newspaper, the lead story there, big tech firms leave Yaba for Ikoyi on infrastructure need. But the election story that interests me there, diaspora Nigerians returning home for presidential election. Of course, those are Nigerians who have been registered here to vote before they traveled. They are coming home to also make their impact felt by casting their votes. This is a very important election that is coming up. Now, the Guardian newspaper of London, the Guardian, the foreign newspaper now, monstrous rapist ex-Met officer jailed for life after years of attack. Yes, David Carrick, the Met officer were asking for the Guardian newspaper of UK. Yes, the David Carrick, the Met officer who used his position thinking that it's above the law to harass and rape women, 12 women. So, who he raped over time and used his position to force them into silence, is being jailed for life. And of course, the New York Times, Biden urges GOP to work with him to build the economy. In his State of the Union address, of course, it's challenging the House Republican majority to work together with him to finish the job. Ruben Rufai and Ayo.
We seem to have run out of time again, but in the foreign papers, what I found most disturbing, the reports from Turkey, the picture of that baby who was found, still attached with the umbilical cord to his mother, who then was rescued. So, story of life and death, such terrible, tragic irony. Yeah. And then also that of a father holding the hand of his dead child. But it's good that international aid is going in the direction of Turkey. And then Nigerian students that are there have reported that they are also receiving assistance, but particularly with the treatment of trauma. Anyway, thank you very much. We don't seem to have much.